All right, we have all the babies joining us. Um, Jesse's nursing, two crazy kids from Tiffany, all the kids. I love it. All right, that is okay. That is why this business, and we make it work. So I wanted to jump in. We are at the end of the month. 1, 2, 3 more full days and tonight. I don't know where it went, but that is still so much time to keep pushing for your goals. I know it seems crazy and you're like, how the heck do I get here every single month where I'm pushing at the end? And I will say my number one tip for you is to show up consistently like it's the end of the month on the first of the month. And I know it sounds crazy and you're like, how could I ever do that? I'd be so exhausted. But I think you're going to realize getting into that routine and getting into that consistency is what pays off in this business. But if you're kind of doing the work and kind of showing up and then you're like, oh crap, I didn't hit my goals. 7 days, people are not going to turn around and get started with you. You need to be showing up consistently, inviting consistently, and showing people why they should join you. Because I think you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like people need to see and be invited to something 7 to 9 times before they're actually going to commit. It is very rare that someone sees you once and they're like, all right, let's do this. They want to build your trust. So if you're not where you wanted to be at the end of this month, starting Saturday, I know, not ideal for and a holiday weekend, not ideal for the start of the month, but what if you sat down, pushed the last 3 days and said, I'm going to make July different. And even if you're working your weekend for planning and preparing yourself for a successful month, who cares if people are celebrating 4th of July weekend? That doesn't mean you can't show up for your business and give value for, I don't know, however long you have. Maybe you're going to wake up in the morning before you enjoy the long weekend, whatever it is, but get people started because on, I believe the 4th is a Tuesday. Yes. After that holiday, they're going to be like, man, I feel like crap. Man, I can't wait to get back into this. And you want them to turn to you. So you want to be that ring in their ear that's like, oh, you know what? Celia's been showing up. I'm going to reach out to her because I need something or whatever it is. Be the first person that comes to their mind. And that's what this business is all about, building trust and being consistent. We don't have any magic sauce. We just keep showing up and you're going to find your people. So with that, there are 3 days left to the bonus for $500, the spring to summer bonus. If you didn't reach it, you should still celebrate every person you helped along the way, even if it wasn't someone getting signed up and it was just a message saying, you really inspired me today. So also, I'm working on filling my sentences with so. Logan and he's over here, and we were talking about how people speak and have filler words, and mine is so, and I just caught myself doing it. So with that, I'm going to stop saying that. We're always working on ourselves. That's kind of my beginning motivation, whatever. Do you guys have any updates that you want to share? Anything you're excited about? I know some of you are doing the Chalkwood Carry Water. Does anyone want to share about that group and how you guys are kicking it off? Celia, I think you're doing it, right?
I am. I haven't heard a lot from Becky yet. Becky's kind of spearheading it, but we do have a group going, a challenge group going. We just got the details this morning. I believe Becky and I are going to do the 4-week portion, the four week setup, but we are setting it up for the whole 5, whatever. Not the normal part of the program. We're setting it up so it can be completely like a normal challenge group and broad group and stuff. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the whole program itself, and I'm just ready to kick it off. So
awesome. So anyone can join it. It's going to be a BOG group. I think Becky posted the link in Elevate Gym. So if you want to do this program or you want to try the sample, go check it out. And then you would have a group of support to really dig in with the program. We did, I would say like at Summit, his workout was a sample of it, some of the moves. So it's really cool. And I know it's a different style for a lot of us. We're like, oh, I just want to, like, these moves are weird and he's in different positions and it's working on mobility. And it's like, I don't think I'm going to enjoy that, but I would say give it a try. And I'm talking to myself when I say that because I know I need to do better with mobility and stretching. And yesterday, Logan and I did, I think it was 6:45 mobility. And it was like 45 minutes of mobility. I'm like, I'm not doing that. So we did 30, but like that was a success for us. And I listened to my body. We were sore because we went to the track the day before after I did that summit workout on Saturday. So I was like dead. But it's just taking those steps and realizing that it will benefit you. So I think that's awesome. And we can all do this together. He's an awesome trainer, super exciting.
Can I say when I saw you doing mobility on a Monday, I was very proud of you.
Yay. I woke up and I was like, your body hurts. Because we did like a little jog on the track and then did like pull-ups and push-ups. So like chest, but the rest of my body was done for. And I'm like, we need to do mobility.
Yeah, after seeing you, when you did that, after Saturday's work, I was like, you're nuts. And then Monday when you did that, I was like, oh my God, she's stretching. So proud of her.
Yay. So yes, we need to be better. And Logan has some back issues. So we really both need to be better. So we're both not injured. So it's awesome for that. And it's just really committing to yourself to doing it. So thank you for that, Jessie, because I was proud of myself too. All right. Any other updates or anything people wanted to share?
I'll say one more thing. I did enjoy the summit group while you guys were gone. I enjoyed seeing the updates come through and the tags. So it was much appreciated, even though if a lot of us didn't have a lot of content coming through. What I did see was just really fun and it made me feel like I was there. So thank you.
Yes, the FOMO was very real.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I know the group was sort of last minute, but it gave, instead of you all going and like flicking your stories, it gave you a better like full picture in one-stop shop. So if you have people interested, even if you weren't at the event, throw them in that group. We're going to keep it up and you can give them a little push and say, we're going to take it down on after this weekend. But technically I'm not going to spend my time taking it down. So, but, it's just a really good spot where you can go back and reference it. And we did try to put some like meaningful things for people if they didn't know what the event was about. So thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Anyone else? All right, we're gonna dive in. I know currently Slay Squad is doing a summit recap right now. So you might get some other like tidbits, information that you want to dig into, to have takeaways from, but we can share our personal ones and then make sure you go and listen to that call this week if you have time to get some more from some of the top leaders. And I believe in that summit, that mompreneur group, the summit, whatever it's called, I'll have to find it, but they also are doing some recaps with like Julie Borez.
I believe that's going to be in the Body Basics group. I think I saw that post this morning.
Okay.
It's in Body
Yeah.
Basics like all week long. They're doing, Erin was today, tomorrow's Julie, and then I think there's 3 other ones for the rest of the week.
So these are really key because they're really trying to give us like, okay, you went to the event, now what? And they're giving us things that we can do to change our businesses and our takeaways that we can take action on. So we'll tune into them. And if you have any questions or comments, we'll talk about them next call, but have another topic as well. So we don't like beat the dead horse about Summit. But we'd love to see you all there next year. It is $150 for your Summit ticket through Friday, which is the cheapest it will ever be. I think it goes up to $175. So we'd love to see you there. And it's in San Antonio again. With that, we can share some of our takeaways. And even if you weren't at the event and you saw something posted or heard something on one of the sessions, I'd love to hear a takeaway or something that really hit home for you. In general, it's really hard to summarize, at least for me, like all my takeaways in my little notebook. So I'll try to pull a few out that I think will benefit you guys in your business. But if anyone else wants to take the floor, I don't want to steal, and I can always find something to say after if you guys want to share first. So whoever wants to share, go ahead.
Sorry if you guys see me flinching. I have a bouncy ball keeps flying past my head, so.
The one thing that I feel like all the speakers touched on or made, I don't know where I'm looking for, just made it known is that like this whole business is that like you are the business. Like no matter what you do, it's all about like it begins with you, your story, your journey, and your growth, your everything. So without you, there is no business. So that was like one thing I felt like just like for all the speakers, that's kind of like the main, like a main takeaway from them. Something Abby said earlier about like how it takes like 7 to 9 times for someone to notice you or what did you, I don't know exactly what you said, but someone had a story how she drove past a sign multiple times a week, many weeks in a row, and she never stopped and looked at it until one day. And she's like, oh, I've driven past this how many times, and now I'm finally reading it. So it's just consistency. If you're repeating the same thing week after week, so eventually someone will see it. I'm looking through all my notes. If anyone, Kareem, Morgan, feel free to jump in while I'm searching.
Are we just sharing? I'm sorry, I've just been hearing screaming. So we're sharing our key take.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. There was just so many good ones. I think mostly about like us. I don't remember if it must have been Kendra Hall that was saying to take the I statements out and talk about more of you and like meaning like you as in serving other people. I don't know if you just had mentioned that, Jesse, but I feel like we do focus on a lot about like I this. And yes, it is about us too, but we're also helping other people, right? That's the biggest reason I feel like a lot of us do this business is to serve other people. And kind of like Becky brought this up when we were doing our why statements, and like mine started as all about me, and then it literally 180'd into like serving other people. So I love that. And then I don't know, just like it, I'm still haven't like decompressed, I guess, but I came home and I lit a fire because every day this week I've spoke about the coaching opportunity. And I know Tanya Barron had spoke. Abby, I don't know if you were in that one or if that was the second day. I was the second day. She had talked about how she makes a great wellness coach. And I guess like her coach told her, yeah, you do a good job of like inviting and getting people in your groups, but like you don't ever talk about the coaching opportunity. And she was like, yes, I do. And she goes, when? And she goes, like once a month in my sneak peek group. She goes, exactly. You're not sharing about how this opportunity can help other people. So like, that's been my goal. Like since I've been home, I think I've kind of gone on my stories each day, just talking about different things about the opportunity and sharing graphics about it. So I want to try to keep that momentum up. And I just feel more confident talking about it with people in person, which I know it sounds weird, but like, I feel like we kind of get a little like in our shell when we talk about it in person. We can hide behind our phones, right? But like when you're in person, just talking about it. And then the other thing was just shifting your narrative, like mindset wise, like that is a huge thing in our business right now and something huge we can offer people. And I know for me, like I am a pretty negative person, but I've been really tuning into shifting my mindset, doing the master classes, trying to help other people find the light in something that's dark. Abby talked about it the other day with her flight. I had a flight situation and we kind of just like tried to share about how you can always find a positive and a silver lining in a situation. And I feel like, I know that's weird that like our health and wellness company can help with that, but it does, because it helps us with our mindset, right? So, but yeah, there's a lot of information, and I haven't finished watching like closing ceremony and all that, but there's lots of changes happening. I know, some of us had spoken about it wasn't as like aesthetically pleasing as last year's, conference. And I know that a lot of people were upset by that. But I think it's not about that. I think it's about the bigger picture of us changing as a company and helping more people with the health esteem rather than, the 6-pack abs, like I feel like we used to be all about. So.
One thing that Corinne was talking about was like the storytelling and how we need to make it more about you. And that it is so hard to do that. Like I was trying, like with my post yesterday, I was like trying to, but I feel like if you're talking, like telling something about yourself, how are you supposed to not say I? So
I think you can say it a little, but it's not like, it's like, you like get them in the feels of like,
You're trying to be relatable and like sharing like maybe a solution that you found for yourself. But yeah, it is hard to like come up with stuff and not be all about I.
Like
Because
how do you tell your story without saying I? No.
Yeah, I literally was like trying to be like, getting in them. I was like, close your eyes and imagine where you'll be. You notice your energy is improving. You noticed blah, blah, blah. You started blah, blah, blah. And then I went into like, now here I am 9 months later, and then like added a piece. You can't not add a piece about yourself. I feel like that's not doable, but I think it is hard to like shift it. So it's basically saying if you're posting, don't say, or even inviting, it's like, don't say, hey, I would love for you to do this. I have had success. I. It's like, how would this benefit you? Where are you struggling? How can I help you? And like really switch it to their focus. But it is hard to tell a story without saying
I think also Jessie like corrected me. I told some girl I liked her hair and I said, I like your hair. And she's like, you should have said your hair is awesome. Or like, instead of saying like, it's about me, make it about them. So the other day I had a patient, it was yesterday. I was like, oh, your color is great on you, or your shirt color is great on you or something. I was like, don't say I, just tell them that you like their shirt without putting you into that sentence. It is hard, but I feel like it makes that person, I don't know, it makes it about them. So I don't know.
No, that's really good. And the storytelling slides, we could drop a bunch of the slide pictures into our team page. I think they're really helpful even without hearing the whole context behind everything. You're gonna get little tidbits of information, and a lot of it is like the two speakers, they had some really good like, what is storytelling? What is not storytelling? And it gives you some prompts and stuff to use, which I thought was helpful. Something that I, go ahead. No, you go.
Erin King, she's our first keynote speaker. She was talking about her just kind of, I think hers was more about the eyes versus you, I believe, right? Erin? Anyway, she said that our attention spans are shorter, so have like our decision spans. So like we need to just like keep talking about the things and keep sharing, because people are gonna just forget about it really fast, because just like that, we're on to the next thing. So that's one thing. I can share, do you want me to share all my notes I took? Because I was just copying all the screens.
You could. Can you share it into like, do you have to do it individually for each person in text?
I could just copy and paste it into like a Word doc.
Okay. Yeah, she did this really cool thing that I never knew was a thing, but in the notes on your iPhone, you like, you know how it gives you the option to like capture a image? It pulls all the words in for you and you don't have to type them.
So I have every single slide that everyone had.
Crazy.
Then sometimes I took pictures of stuff and added them in just because of like what they were. So I can just make that into a Word doc if people would want it.
Yeah, and I think that'd be awesome. And I think there's enough context in it to get tips that you can use. And also about storytelling. So for example, we say like, I want time, flexibility, and freedom. We'll say that in our posts, and people are like, that's so broad. What does that mean? And I'm guilty of doing this. It's like, I want to feel good, but like, what does that mean? That can mean something different to everyone. So Kendra Hall went into like the story of a time where you had flexibility. And she gave an example of like going to her kids' school parade, or one of her clients going to a kid's school parade or something. And it's like, I want time, flexibility, and freedom versus like saying, this one time I was working full time. I was stuck in my cubicle and I had to miss my kids XYZ. And I knew next year I was going to continue showing up for this business because I did not want to be that mom that got pictures from other moms because I couldn't get off work. And there I was that next year sitting with my kid for XYZ, taking pictures myself. And that is why I show up for time, flexibility / freedom. Like, people are going to relate to that way more, like a specific story. And a lot of us are like, well, I don't have an extravagant story. I don't have this cool thing, but like, there's a list of breakdowns. We'll post it. It's like, ask yourself these different situations and scenarios and find little stories within story, like within a big picture thing. And it's like, we think, some of us are like, I don't have a story, but it's not the magnitude of the story. It's the direction or your decision to share it with others. So maybe you have a story and it's just like, you'll hear it all the time. I would go and get my groceries and hope my card didn't decline. That's a little like, I don't know the right word, but that's a big part of a story. Like, that's huge. That's not just a little story. So I'm like, well, that never happened to me. But what if you were like, I could finally hold my baby up in the air with both my arms and not feel like I was going to like pass out or fall to the ground, whatever you want to say. Like, I could fight my kid on the changing table because I work out. Like, you know, they wrestle you, not actually fight your kid, but like hold them down so they don't like fall off. Like, tell a specific story of like why that would be why I work out every day. For my business, it's like, I pretend like I'm talking to my old self. So it's like, past me, here's where I was, here was where I was going, and here's where I am now. So share that full transformation of like all the feels. And those were some tips I really remember. But it's like, if you can't find a story, take some time and write a list of firsts you had with your coaching business and body. Like, the first time you tried the shakes, how did you feel? The first time you did a workout, how did you feel? A list of features and benefits like that we have. Like, do you struggle with postpartum hair loss? Oh, well, we have this whole Go and Glow line. List of your customers' experiences. A story could literally be, hey, I had this customer reach out to me and said that she XYZ, she finally threw the scale out and realized that her clothes were fitting better, even though the scale wasn't changing. That's a story. Common questions and objections we get, use them as a story. Lessons learned the hard way. If you see it in them, tell them that. I don't know what that means. If you see it in them, tell them that story. Oh, so like, you can tell a story and say, I was with my family friend and I noticed they were struggling and I knew I had a solution, and just explain like they were going through this and that. And I, as a health and fitness coach, I felt it in my heart that I wanted to reach out to them and give them this solution, like kind of just share whatever's going on in your life. Like, I'm sure you guys have a lot of work stories or whatever, like there's going to be something that we think is just like a conversation, but it's actually something that someone else is really going to benefit from. So we'll share those details as well.
I just wanted to share one. Sorry, no bark. So I wanted to share one of the things that I probably share like more often than I realize is that prior to me starting my journey, one of the big things was with, having medical issues. I could not run for more than 5 seconds without having to sit down and rest for 5 minutes. And now being able to chase my kids around like all over the yard and not have to worry about being out of breath, unless, the air quality is horrible, which it has been lately, but I can still have more and like have a higher endurance to keep going longer than what I ever could have if I wouldn't have started my journey and have bad air quality. So that's for me, it's like, even though when the air quality is bad, I can't go as long, I can still go longer than what I ever would have been able to.
Yeah, and that's like your before goals, and here you are now, and how it's changed your life. And so many people could relate to that. That's a perfect example. And you could even do it for like running a specific workout you did. Like you can kind of change a little bit of it each time. And it's okay to be repetitive, even if you're changing it a tiny bit. Like your bottom line story pretty much remains the same. Like, I want to help moms find energy and strength postpartum. I can tell a million stories about that, but that's my top, like, full on, like, main goal. For the business, I always have my top main goal being you can stay at home and be present with your baby while making impact and earning an income. I can tell a million stories about that, and they're all going to look different. So if you can find your like tagline of your niche and who you're helping, and then try to find stories that trickle down from there, I think it's really, really helpful. And Brittany, that was a really good example. Anyone else have anything to share? I'll keep talking if you don't.
One other thing that I wanted to share, I actually shared it today on my stories, is I came home today and I was so exhausted in every way. And it was like, I came home, I was overwhelmed, overstimulated, just exhausted in every way. And I get home and it's just one of those things. It's like, the dog's wanting your nonstop attention. The kids are, mommy, 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 just like before you can even put your stuff down once you walk in the door. And it's not that you're upset about it, but it's like, it's one of those things where like some days you just want to go lock yourself in a room and either blast music until you're numb, or you just want to go, would you stop it? Or you would just want to cry. You just want to lock yourself in a room in dead silence and cry. And for me, like, I was sitting on the couch and I could not move. I just physically couldn't get up. And both of my kids came over to me and were like, Mommy, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And give me big hugs. And I'm like, and like, they knew I wasn't upset, but they could just tell. And I'm like, they're always watching and they're going to be your biggest fans, are going to be your biggest supporter, because they're like, Mommy needs love. And they understand that. And they're like, she's not angry. She's not sad, but sometimes, and they feel that energy. And they were like, Mommy, we'll give you love. And they just come over and gave me hugs and sat with me. But I'm like, don't look at them wanting to be near you in a negative way. And I used to do that as well. And I would be like, just get away from me, like, just go. And now I'm like, okay, like, they feel my energy. So I'm just going to let this, like, just kind of soak this in. And as I sat there and just let them sit there with me, it like I started regain my energy and strength back. And like my, my mentality started coming back to a normal level. So yeah, I just wanted to share that too.
Awesome. And that's a story you could tell about you working on your mindset and working on shifting it and how it's, you started here with your kids and now you're here and that changes families. Like that's a perfect story. So awesome. I love it. If you guys struggle with like your niche and who you're talking to, you can definitely reach out and we can figure it out because I think that is huge in this business and it can shift through each season of life. Something that I thought was big was, I think this was Erin Hopkins. She said, bring intentional energy to the business opportunity. So it's not that they have some magic secret sauce. It's literally they're choosing to show up with energy and diving into the parts of the business they love. And they are doing it how they want to do it. And I think that's so powerful because if you're pushing in this business, but you're not really, your heart's not in it, you're not going to be successful. You need to find your niche, your brand, what sets your heart on fire, and then incorporate it into this business. This is just a stepping stone. This is a way to build a business with a platform while also being yourself and being your own brand. And if you're inviting to the coaching opportunity or the partner opportunity, you want to be the proof and put in the effort, reach your goals, and show people that it's possible. So if you're showing up for your business activity tracker and you're doing these work, like this work, you are more likely going to have partners and coaches start and say, hey, this is what I do every day. And you're both going to see success. Like I've been trying to share more with you guys, like sample invites I'm doing and tasks I'm doing, because I'm not doing anything special. I'm just doing it consistently. And I have an energy about it because you need to find the joy in this business. Something really cool. That's an option. So did you guys know there's a Clean Week Shakeology sampler? So basically, if people give you the price objection and they're like, oh, too expensive, you can offer them the Clean Week Shakeology sampler. And I don't think I took a picture of it, but for 1 week, you get the Clean Week program, which is a week-long program. It's a fitness program with Megan Davies. And you're going to get a Shakeology sampler pack. That's, I believe, 7 shakes. And I believe, don't quote me on it, but it is like $30. You can get them started with the workouts, with the shakes, do daily check-ins, be their motivator, hold them accountable for $30 and give them like a sneak peek of what they're in for. And obviously the daily check-ins and holding them accountable is a huge part of it because you want them to see success. But that's a great way to get people in the door that don't want to spend all that money up front. And they were saying, I forget who was talking about this. This might have, I don't know. Anyway, they were saying you can add them to your big accountability group. Like we could add them to Elevate Gym or our bot group. And then in 1 week, check in with them and say, hey, you got your first week trial. Did you want to continue? Like, you did amazing, whatever, and let it be like they will be removed from the group. Like you have, it's kind of like an incentive, like, let's continue this, let's crush your goals, we'll keep you in this group. You had your free week's access, now let's freaking do this. And that is huge because I know we all get the price objection so much and we still want to help them. Who cares if it's not a total solution pack, but that's a really good way to get them in the door. Clean Week is more of a beginner program, but she actually pulls moves from all the other workout programs. So it's always her training, but she's like, this is something, a move you could expect in blah, 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 this program and that program. And it's not very obvious from what I remember, but that is how that program is made up. And there's a meal plan that goes with it that tells you exactly what to eat. So check that out and offer it to people. You could have a full group of people doing it, just like you could do like the 3-day refresh group or all that fun stuff. So that is a way to get people started. Also, they're going to announce it in July, but if you hit Success Club 5 and add one new partner, you're gonna get a free tank, which is kind of cool. Um, Basically, no matter what we learned, it was literally all related back to mindset. It's like you are holding yourself back. Your mindset is holding you back. You are in charge of your energy. You can do this. Like, it's all about you. And we're our biggest like road barrier. It's like, well, my story is not that bad, or I don't have a story. And we make up all these excuses in our head and believe them. So if you literally, mindset is everything. So if you are able to shift your mindset, that's where the magic's going to happen. And every single coach or partner that talked was all about mindset. And I know we're like, oh, we're special, we have mindset masterclasses, but like mindset literally is everything. And I say this a lot on my stories, but it's like, if you can show up for yourself and get your mindset right, put in physical activity and feel good, your relationships are going to thrive. Your business is then going to thrive. But if you don't show up for you, you have negative energy. That's going to bleed into your household. That's going to bleed into your relationships. And then you're going to be pissed off about that. And then how is your business going to grow if your energy is already flat on the ground? It all starts with you, and you guys all have that choice. And it's so cool because they're nothing special. They're just humans just like us that went to Summit as an emerald or a partner and said, I want to be on that stage one day. And you know what they did? They just showed up. And I think it was Kim. She said they were on some retreat or something, but this one partner was like, how do you do it? Just tell me the secret. How do you do it? How do you do it? And they're walking up this like mountain and they're like dying or whatever. They're like out of breath and walking. And she's like, I don't do anything special. And then she said she does her business activity tracker 6 to 10 times a day. And she was like, oh, so hard work and consistency. Like, obviously that's exaggerated and a lot of us don't have time for that. But can you imagine if you just even did it once a day or twice a day? Like, that is huge. And that is where growth comes from. They're not some magical unicorns. They are literally people like us that did not take no for an answer, did not give up, went through the hard seasons and knew that they needed this and why they needed this and what it was going to do in regards to changing their lives. So I hope you guys just have that in the back of your head, why you're doing this, why you keep showing up, what you want to see change in your life. Because if you don't have that heart behind it and that push, it's so easy to be like, oh, it doesn't matter if I don't follow people today. Like, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. But if you don't follow people for a whole month, you're not going to have new people to invite and have conversations with. And then your business isn't growing. So I don't know. I just picture them all as these normal people, scared, have no idea what they're doing, setting these big goals like, who am I to make this goal? And then there they are up on that stage. And some of them, it was just a year later. And it's so cool to just have them share that and be real, because I think we all need to hear that. I love all the babies, and I've done too much talking. So does anyone have any, like, even if it's a feeling that you had with something we shared or anything at all, do you guys have a goal that you're pushing towards now that we had this event, or a scary action you're going to take? Anything at all that you can share with the group?
I'll say that I am going to definitely talk more about this opportunity. I say this all the time, but like, I just feel like it should just be as easy as talking to people about wellness groups, right? Sorry. It's our life right now. I don't know. it's happening. But just like, why is it so? I think I talked to you about this, Abby. I was like, why is it so easy for us to get challengers, but like we don't talk about the business opportunity and like get partners. Same exact freaking thing, right? So I'm trying to share about this and like why it's beneficial and with the discount and the fun trips and the traveling and just like just overall becoming a better person and being able to help people. So that was like my biggest thing was like, just talk about it. Like, why don't you talk about it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's literally the same strategy, just marketing something different. And I think it's just because it's hard. It's harder, it's scarier. But if you can take the same tactics you use for inviting to a challenge group, like I want to invite because here's my story. It makes me feel strong and energized, and I lost the weight and I met my goals, and I can help you. And I know you're nervous about time, but this, and I know you're nervous about money, but this, and you convince them because it's already changed your life. So dig deep and realize how coaching has changed your life, even if it's not that significant yet. Has it brought you together with a community of women that help you be more positive every day and show up to be your better self? Has it helped you financially where you can go to the grocery store and not worry, or you can put gas in your tank and not worry, you can let your kids do summer camp, whatever it is? Is it maybe that you literally found something that helps you hold yourself accountable related back to your health and fitness journey? There's gotta be something in there that keeps you showing up as a coach every day. Maybe it's that you truly want to help a certain group of people because you don't want them to struggle like you. What is that group of people? What is that group of people? Like, there's a reason you're showing up every day. And going back to just sharing the opportunity. Yes, you don't have to have this heartfelt, like snappy story every day, but remember who you're talking to. Dig into that and pretend you're talking one-on-one with that person. I really enjoy, yes, I talk to postpartum moms, but I also enjoy talking to women that are just struggling in general with life. Like they're not happy, they aren't fulfilled. And I'm able to share my story so they know it's possible. So you're doing a disservice to people if you're not inviting to the coaching opportunity, because you got here for a reason and they need to know there's a way to get there too. And I think it's just getting out of your comfort zone and trying to help others in the process, even if it makes you uncomfortable. So with that, we're gonna finish a little early, but I challenge all of you, and you can tag me or send it to me after, but I challenge all of you to go talk on your stories after this. It could be 30 seconds, it could be a minute, it can be 15 seconds, but I want you to say something that comes from your heart. I'm not going to tell you what to say. It can be about this call. It can be about what you learned at Summit, what we talked about. It could be about them joining you for certain reasons, for the coaching opportunity. And honestly, just share from your heart and let them know, get to know you a little more. And it doesn't have to have a call to action. Just show them that you're a human. I don't care what you say, but I do challenge you to do that. And what we share doesn't have to always be business. So whatever you feel like you need to share tonight, I want you to do that. Because I don't know what I'm going to share yet, but I'm going to figure it out. How are we feeling? We're going into the second half of the year. Good.
Disbelief and it's already July. Like, I don't know how that happens yet. So
I don't know either. I was like, oh, it's just the start of summer. And now I'm like,
Yep.
summer's almost over. But not really. But like in my head, I'm like, what the heck?
mhm.
It's crazy. Awesome. Well, you guys all have a gift to share with people, and I really do hope you pour into it, and it's going to look different than everyone else's story. And having crazy kids is part of your story and all of ours, so don't apologize. What is he doing? Look at him go. Oh my gosh. I love watching. Oh my gosh, he's like a little, I don't even know. Jesse, he crawls so fast.
He's insane.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
Just wait. It's only the beginning.
Ah,
Just wait till they're going up and down the stairs and trying to grab power cords.
oh, he's already grabbing the cords. Like he's sitting here like eating my laptop cord.
Yep.
Those are the best toys. Yeah.
My husband's answer is to baby proof the house. Me, I'm like, you know what? You can only tell them no so many times, and then they get
No,
a
they
bump
gotta
on the
learn.
noggin, and I'm like, you gotta learn the hard way.
I'll learn.
Yeah,
guys,
He
we did
literally puts
upload-
like plastic things on the edges of like, it's insanity.
Okay. So I did put a PDF of my notes on our team page then for you guys. I just gonna copy and paste any of the pictures. There's really not that anything of real significance in the pictures. If you want them, I can put them in the comments, but the PDF is up there for you all then.
Thank you. And thanks for teaching me that trick.
It was a lot easier. Like I remember last year I was taking notes and I'm really bad at like writing while trying to listen. So that is like so much faster because then you just snap it and then add in your own thoughts or whatever else they say. Much and it's just a lot faster. So that worked better for you this year.
Awesome. Yeah, that's like the most amazing thing I've ever learned. All right. Well, I hope that you guys talk in your stories and know that I'm here to support you if you want a one-on-one call and we want to figure out your goals, your dreams, all that good stuff. But other than that, I'm going to give you 10 minutes if you want it to go do that and do your whatever you need to do. Bye, all you children, you beautiful babies. Talk to you later. See ya.